All right, you stayed long enough. You clicked on part 2. It's probably in the link description of where the timestamps are or something like that anyway. But either way, thanks for coming back, or at least you fell asleep on my video. I've done that before. I want to talk about gear for a minute. And this is another one of my soapbox things I want to talk about. I was recently at a shooting course, one that I graduated before previously, and I was there as an additional instructor, and just to get more sustainment training, just to get more proficiency. No one told me I had to do it. I knew I had to do it, but I did it anyway. And while I was there, I was thinking something, and as I was thinking it, I said, you know what, I'm not even gonna hit on that just now. I am one of the instructors, but I was not that class's instructor. And I'm glad I did it. And it wasn't because I just put my foot in my mouth. I was like, you know what, I'll probably say something about it on a video like this. But the other instructor who was there said it for me, but he said it better than I could have, which is why I'm glad I didn't say anything. And he, just so you guys know, in case you want to know his credentials, we all want to know someone's credentials. He was a sergeant major in the Green Beret, Army Green Beret, so he was definitely one of the top elite operators and the highest enlisted rank you could get. And he said something that was crucial, and I've been preaching this at work personally in my job. I don't preach it online all the time, but I preach it at work, is if you know something works better for you, go and get it. I mean that, 100% mean that. If I was to give you something as a starter to maybe entice you to have an interest in this, let's say I give you a pair of gloves to shoot in, I give you a holster to use. If you only stick with that holster and pair of gloves and it doesn't work for you, that's the key point. If it doesn't work for you, get something that does. Or don't use it at all because you found something better that can replace either one of them. Or say, you know what, I actually prefer not to use gloves, and I'm glad I had gloves so I know I don't like them. Whichever it may be, you have to get your own gear. A lot of people, I had a specific guy who's in this job who said, if the Navy wanted me to have a better holster or a better kit, they'd buy me one. And I said, and when they do that, you will look old as hell. You will be at the bottom of Davy Jones' locker. It won't happen the way you think it may happen. It happens for some people. It doesn't happen for everybody. And even the most tier 1 elite operators, even the team guys, frogs, you have techs, divers, SWIC, some air rescue communities like mine, well, they will get stuff issued that is good for them. But even still, I had some of the best gear issued to me for my job, but I personally did not like it. It was a one-size-fits-all, and it did not fit me that well. So I went out and got something that fit me better based on my ergonomics, my anatomy, my height, my style, my overall training usage, whatever you want to call it, and it made me better overall. Some people say, I will never do that, I will never do that, I will never do that, I will never do that. And you will also never get an opportunity to do anything else because you sat waiting for someone to come and give you an opportunity instead of going out and carving out your own path and then walking down it. I went through courses because I proved myself personally, and the military saw it. My best friend was talking to me the other day, and he was talking about how he was impressed at my marksmanship skills when it came to rifle, pistols, certain things. And he says, I remember when we first started shooting this like 20 years ago, like, you know, you weren't the worst, but you weren't the best at all. And he says, and you've come so far. And I was like, yeah, but I've never stopped. And I got tired of waiting on the military to shoot me. Literally, remember, they will only give me this many rounds to qualify. And that's it. That's one box of ammo. When I found out it was only 48 rounds. Anyways, I was still pissed about that, but whatever. Normally when I go shoot, I shoot a few hundred rounds, sometimes of each caliber if I'm training like that. And I cannot believe that I shoot more than what it takes to qualify to stand watch in the military or go downrange for certain jobs. Not every job, not even for my job, but that's what I'm being told right now. So I went out there and bought the equipment. I went out there and bought all the things that people said I'm waiting for the military to buy it. And I'm like, why would you do that? Because you're gonna be waiting for a long time. One of those things, simple, like I said earlier, gloves. If you need gloves, get them. If your handguard is getting warm because of the gas block, put gloves on. That's on an M4 variant, M16 variant type rifle. If you know you're starting to wear out your hand on the grip because it's stippled, like my SIG M18, I have the Wilson Combat Grip Module, and that thing has its own natural stippling in it that it will kind of wear your hand raw. And not if you shoot 48 rounds, for crying out loud, but if you shoot a lot more than 48 bullets, you will have blisters. So that's another thing I wanted to say, is the people who think this is all it takes to go to war. And yeah, I'm not gonna get 48 rounds off and then have blisters. I can load all of these up with my speed loader, or I'm sorry, without my speed loader, and not get blisters. But when I'm loading a few hundred rounds at a time and then dumping them and then coming back to load more rounds, I want whatever advantage I can get that's gonna make me a faster, better shooter, more efficient shooter. I'm not trying to waste all my digit strength loading magazines. I'd rather use it pulling the trigger. So that's one of the things. Another thing, it's right before me now, so I'll talk about it. There is no purpose, I'm supposed to talk about this first. But another thing is this, a shot timer. A shot timer is crucial whenever it gives you, whenever you need the opportunity to know how slow or fast you are, picking up the pace, par times, split times, overall times. You can do so much with a shot timer, and it can overall make you a better shooter. Do shooting drills. Stand by. Hit. 904. Nice. A plethora of shooting drills on the internet. Everybody has their own shooting drill. I have my own personal shooting drills. I could sit here and be like, hey, you guys want a link in the description box where you can go find this piece of 8.5 by 11 paper with this on it and see if you can hit it. I mean, you may like it and you may not like it. I use all kinds of different tools to shoot and train with. I don't like to shoot zombies holding girls like this, but I'll do that too. If that's all I have, I'll shoot it. Another thing I want to talk about, in the event you need to do this, and not because of some other weird training, is holsters. Buy your own holster. Buy your own belt. Buy whatever it is you need. Buy your own magazines. So I have my own magazines here. I have a dump pouch here. This dump pouch is super, super small. I forgot who makes it. Blue Force Gear or High Speed Gear. Somebody makes it. It's freaking super, super small. It's about as small as you see right here. But when I pull it all out, obviously, that's what it looks like. I have a dual setup holster. I have the M18 holster or a P320 holster here that's just no retention, just slides in and out. And below it, I have an adapter for my Safari Land, which is a duty holster with level 1 retention. So, and it comes on a Krydex belt that has an internal Velcro that I will wear that around my belt so I can just snap it right over it. I've done combat level shooting training with all of this stuff that I'm talking to you about. If you want to, you can go out and purchase your own bump helmet type thing. It's none of the gear that you buy or wear make you an operator. It doesn't make you not an operator, and it doesn't make you one. You are what you are. You are what you were designated to be, qualified to be. You could be an operator with freaking the crappiest tools and still defeat somebody who has better gear than you. Gear matters, but if they don't know how to use that gear because they never qualified on that gear, they never sustained with that gear, they never trained with it, they only shot 48 rounds with that gear, then of course I'm gonna have a leg up on them. A definite leg up on them. I'll have so much more experience to fall off of. And I don't care what you have. Now, I'm not the only one who thinks like me. I'm not the only one who trains like me. But I'm one of the only people I know in my job and in my community that not just feels this way, but is doing something about it. I'm not bragging, being boastful at all about anything, but I am, like I said in previous videos, I'm the only person in my rating in the Navy that has the school that I've gone through for combat marksmanship shooting to be an instructor. It's not some vast oh my gosh, this is the coolest school ever. It's not that at all. But I got tired of sitting down shooting 48 bullets, and I was like, look, what are we doing here? Right? We need to do something a little bit more than that. Also, when you go train, like it's my birthday today, right? I don't need anything crazy. It's also Thor's birthday, Hulk Hogan, Joe Rogan, and your boy Rick James. So all of us, and you got Donovan Sharp too, if you guys know about him in the Red Pill community. One of the things I wanted to say about that is I want to go shoot. I just kickflipped my skateboard earlier. I went running today. I went and worked out. I did this. I beeped. I bopped. I'm making a YouTube video, and I'm still about to go lay some lead down range. And then I'm going to go to work and be done at 1 in. Crazy, right? I'm not going to let my age, 39 by the way, dictate what I can and can't do. I tell people, I set the bar from what I was told today from some friends of mine say, man, you've really set the bar for a lot of people at your age. You've set a lot of bar for a lot of people, period, and then for your age especially. And that was kind of rewarding to see that, because that's not my goal. I'm just me. And I can't help it. I can't help it at all. But when I talked about my gear, getting your own magazines, if the magazines the Navy gave you suck or the military gave you suck, get better ones and keep them for you. You don't have to worry about anybody stealing them, because if they all have that mentality of, I'm not paying for my own crap, then okay, you guys are all going to use the standard GI mags that keep having double feed issues and magazine feed issues, while I'm over here with a P mag, a Hex mag, a Troy mag, a different company, take your pick, and it's going to work. They're not 100% flawless, but it's going to work a lot better than what you've been issued, because it's been tested. It's been tried. Now, GI mags have been tested and tried, and we've found out they suck, right? Unless you put anti-tilt followers and stuff like that in them and actually clean them out. But even getting sand and dirt into them, done for. I've seen so many of them done for. One of them dropped in the dirt during a speed reload, picked it back up. You might as well just threw that thing at the enemy, because it had so much crap in it. It didn't work properly for the rest of that shooting event for that day. And it sucks, but that's just the way it is. Also, for those of you who say, I'm not going to go buy a gun, I'm not, or if you buy a gun and then you don't shoot your gun, you say, well, if the Navy wants me to shoot, they'll take me to the range. Once again, you will suck. I can't believe some of the people got concealed carry licenses based on their boot camp and or Navy shooting training. And I'm like, those dudes can't find where their magazine release is, and you gave them a concealed carry permit. Now, I'm all about that because I'm a Second Amendment dude. But if it's based on that, that's wrong. Also, body armor. I have my own body armor. I have my own vest. I bought my own body armor. I bought my own vest. I was not issued anything that I've showed you so far. Nothing. Nothing I've showed you I've been issued. The stuff I've been issued, it's still at work, to be completely honest with you. Sucking right where it's at. This right here, I've taken this on certain courses I've gone through as well. This is my own personal firearm. I love it. You love it. We all love it. And I was recently shooting one, and I was doing some barricade drills, and I had to do some standing to prone training, and someone's like, oh man, you got a bipod? I was like, I hope my enemy doesn't have a bipod. I literally said that, and people were laughing at first, like, oh man, he's cheating, he's got a bipod. I was like, I'm going to cheat when it comes to my life. 100%. I'm going to bite you, scratch, claw. I'm not going to do what you see in the movies where they both come in there and they throw their magazines out and they throw their guns down and they're about to scrap. Like, no, if you throw that down first because you ran out of bullets after you tried to shoot me with it, I'm about to just go blah, right? Kablooey, and that's it. And then I won, and I'm going to live to tell about it, and you're not. End of story. So yeah, putting things on your optics. Putting optics on your firearm, putting sights on yours, putting the charging handle you want, putting anything, the grip. If the grip, you don't like this grip, put another grip on it. If you don't like this stock because of the length to pull, or it's finicky, or it doesn't have QD mounts so you can put your sling on it, put something else on it. If you want a flash hider or muzzle device that you can adapt and put a suppressor on it, put that thing on it. You need to train to your own level, and then from there, once again, your unit can benefit from it. Your branch of service can benefit from it. Your team, your element, your platoon, your whoever, your family, yourself, you can all benefit from your own training. Just like going to the gym and working out, you leave with this certain sense of like a high, like you can get a runner's high, you can get like a weightlifting high. There's a certain level of high that you get from shooting outside of just inhaling lead dust. You get a different level of high with that, but it's just the fact that you're like, you know what? Yeah, I can go, I can hit my targets effectively in the event that I had to do that. What else do I have down here? Ear and eye pro. Hearing protection. Right now I have some Peltors. I've got a couple sets of Peltors. They're not cheap. I have Howard lights. I've had Walkers, Razor stuff. I've had just the standard Howard light is what I was trying to say. The normal sound guard, just the red and green foamies. Whatever you need to use to make yourself a better shooter, go and get it. I have so much stuff, and it's not because I try and look cool. I have it because I'm like, why does this cost as much as it does? Why do these units use it the way they do? How come I see people shooting with that instead of that? And I noticed like, hey, you know what? I can have, you know, a car that costs 30 grand or one that costs $1 million, and it'll still do the same thing getting me from A to B. It'll look cooler in that. It may get me there a little faster, but it's not necessary to do what I need to do based on my ergonomics, my anatomy, and in some cases, my financial situation. If I have the money, spend it. If you don't, clearly you're going to have to budget. If you guys want certain things to talk about when it comes to budgeting, I can do that too. I don't want to sit here and just be a talking head, but right now I kind of have to be. But yeah, so go ahead and get an ear and eye pro. The next ear pro I'm going to get is going to be something that goes directly in my ear. I'm kind of tired of the freaking, I wouldn't say Mickey Mouse, but I'm kind of tired of having something on my head like this. It does great. It protects my ears. The additional thing is it has a built-in microphone so I can speak. I can hook up this to comms as well. So it enhances my situational awareness overall on the battlefield or in the training environment. But when I'm going to be doing static marksmanship or something like that, or just doing some drills, I might want something that's just stuck in my ear because I can get a better cheek weld on my rifle than trying to sit there and push against a set of Peltors. And a lot of people never think about those things. One of my coworkers was saying, hey dude, we're not operators. I said, yeah, you're not an operator, especially with that mentality. I'm not saying I am an operator, but my previous rate was AW. His was not that. And AW stood for Aviation Warfare Systems Operator. So I never walked around saying I'm an operator. And I had that job before all of the SEALs were special warfare operators. Weird. They were just source ratings. They were DCmen, DCs, damage control men. They were corpsmen, hull techs, bosun's mates, like all these other random source rates that we have in the military, in the Navy specifically, and that's fine. I was an aviation warfare systems operator up until 2007, 2008, and then they were like, "You're just a freaking plain Jane naval air crewman helicopter dude," and I was like, "Sick," whatever that means. So once again, mindset is another thing too. I want to do one more video. That's going to be a full-blown separate video, and it's really going to make me understand where my audience is at, and then just who watches it, who likes what. All right. So either way, there's plenty to talk about, but you probably clicked off this video by now, and that's fine. So either way, this is PhDarien. Got a PhD, but depends on who you ask. I got a PhD.